Our second layer of drywall tape. Now I'm sticking it on while the flexi glue or the shoe glue equivalent is still tacky. That way your next layer of drywall tape has a nice surface to stick to. And I've overlapped it slightly, so once it's dry we can trim it off, because I want the support to go all the way up to the edges. So I've put on a strip here, another piece here, and as with the first layer, make sure to press it down to follow the contours and bends of your body shell. If you leave air gaps, this will create weak points, which we want to avoid. Now, I've seen other videos where people get their drywall tape and cut it into strips. Personally, I think this is not the way to go, because if you do that, what happens is while it's hung up there, the stickiness is going, it's drying. 1 second. Right, so how I do it is I take what I need where I need it. I stick it down and then I cut it. Only what I need, mind you, slightly more than what I need. So the excess, as I say, can be cut down to size later on. So here I have up to here, so we will go up to here, follow the contours and the shapes. Now the first layer I had to use liberal amounts of hot glue to get it to stick. Now because we have the flexi glue or the fantastic elastic already in place and it's tacky, it's quite sticky. So we can now forego the use of hot glue, but just make sure to press down and get a good adhesion to where you need it to stick. Now let's just show you the difference it's made. The back portion is yet to be done, and as you can see by how shiny it is at the front and in the middle, and here it's still a bit matte because I haven't applied any there or on the sides. When I flick, you can hear how, well, it's not tinny, but how hollow it sounds, how light and flimsy it sounds. And now listen to this. That's more of a tinny flick, and this is more of a dull thud. Yeah? So let's keep going. Okay, Aaron.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You putting on a strip for us?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to get a better viewing angle for us. Okay, Aaron, what you want to do is smooth it down like this, yeah?
Yeah.
Push it into all the gaps, yeah?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Gently but firmly, yeah? Follow all these shape changes. So get it into the gap here, yeah?
Yeah.
And you can Perhaps we do need to add some hot glue. This will just help because just a couple of dabs. Yeah, so if you plug in our hot glue gun, just plug it in.
Okay.
Yep. Well done. Now let's load it up. Okay, now just give it a few minutes to warm up. In the meantime, you can be still pressing those bits firmly down.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Deneen, do you want to get the scissors and cut our next strip? My daughter Deneen is assisting us today. Deneen, would you like to say hello to our viewers? Hi. Okay, now give us a snip. Not so, yeah. We want a little bit of excess, so it gives us wiggle room. There we go. And now do you want to just press this down? Yep, go on. Press it down firmly. Good. Okay, this can go in a bit more. There we go. Okay, so we follow the contours and the shape changes of our body shell. Yeah. And you see here how we have this bit here, and it's quite a complex shape. We've got to follow it. Yeah. Now, because this is, it doesn't really want to bend and follow these contour changes, we'll just tack a little bit of hot glue. Yeah, this warms it up so it helps it to bend, and also it deposits a bit of glue which is very flexible and liquid when it's warm, and then once it's dry and cooled down, it sets hard and fixes everything in place. If we just push all these bits firmly into place, because if we get air gaps, this will create weak points in the body shell. So we don't want gaps. What don't we want, kids?
Gaps.
Yeah, because gaps equal weak points.
Yeah.
What do they equal?
Weak points.
Good. Okay, so it's important here to add a bit of glue. Now, okay, so Deneen's just helping me squeeze. Come on, Deneen, let's follow these contours. Good girl. Okay. Right, Deneen, do you want to do the sticking of the strips or do you want to do the spreading of the glue?
Sticking strips.
Sticking strips, okay. So let's do the next one. And it will go here. Okay, Deneen, do you want to do the snips?
Okay.
So cut it quite high up, a bit higher. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, you can start sticking down. Go on. Follow the shapes. Yeah, that's it. Stick it all the way down here. Yep. That's it. Well done, Deneen. Let me just put a couple of drops of hot glue on for you. You keep going. You continue doing what you're doing. Just watch yourself. There we go. Put in a couple of drops here and down here. So we're just tacking it into place. Okay, Deneen, mind your fingers now.
Ah.
Sorry, did that burn you?
Just a little bit. It's hot.
It's like wax. There we go. So,
I can see the smoke from the glue gun.
yeah. Oh, you can probably see the wisps of glue. Okay, let's get a strip down for Aaron to stick. So our last strip is here, so we want it to go down next to it. Yeah, so it will be going on here. Aaron, do you want to hold the roll? Hold it. Yeah, so let me just place it for you. Yeah. Janine, your job is to snip. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay. Just snip it. There, yeah. Good girl. Go on, Aaron.
Okay.
So stick it down here.
Yeah. Deneen, you could help me. I can't see.
Go on, Deneen. You can help your brother. Yeah. So work in a systematic fashion. From here, Deneen. Yeah. Make sure it's all stuck down. And then I'll come in and I'll dab some hot glue in there.
Okay.
So, Aaron, do you want to swap places with me?
Okay.
And I'll dab some hot glue in there.
Puffed up places over here. Let's go for that.
Okay, Aaron, just move across a bit. No, it's okay. You can stay there.
Okay.
Let's dab some hot glue in there. So there. We'll need it.
Put the bottom up there because it's not sticking.
We're here.
Yeah. Pin onto
There we
there.
go. There we go. Let's do this.
There.
Yeah. Let me get this side done first, and then we'll move across. Okay?
Okay.
What you have to do, you work in a systematic fashion. So let that bit cool down and start to stick. And then follow the contours and bends and curves of the body shell. So there, let's put another, what we can call the equivalent of a tack weld. So a splodge of hot glue. There we go. Now we've got proper stickiness happening. Okay, now let's follow the curvature. Now this is, if you like, a compound curve because it's curving that way and it's curving that way. So we have to ensure that it fits in nicely following every orientation of the curve. So let's just snippety snip and okay, we've not got any blank spaces, which is good. Okay, kids?
Yeah.
Do your worst. Stick that down.
Yeah, our worst.
Okay, let's get in on the action. It's all right. You guys continue. I'm getting it. Well done, kids. And that is the front section done. Right, so I think we're overexposed because my son has left it on night mode, I think. But let's move the light away and see if that helps. That seems to help, doesn't it? Okay, let's turn the lamp off.
I think it's going to fall.
Okay, can you see now?
Yeah, I can see.
Well, that's too...
That's good.
Okay. Now let's turn off this light. I'm sorry, my son dropped the phone and it seems to be overexposed now. So let's turn the flash off. Okay. So just adding these strips. To pop the glue, you just reverse the cap, put it in, and that pierces the metal thing, and then just get to applying. Okay, Aaron. Make sure to get it down into the nooks and crannies. This place could use particular attention. This is the weak spot on the Traxxas X-MAXX body shell. It takes an inordinate amount of punishment, so the extra reinforcement here will pay dividends. So working all the way around. Right, so doing these bits around here, the valleys if you like, the low points, these will take probably as much glue as you're going to put on the flat surfaces here, probably even a bit more. I would make it extra thick in these levels, or make sure that you've got every surface covered, because here is where the support is required. Okay. So just remember to pay particular attention to this section here, this section here. Okay, so I'm just going over this part which didn't do. So we want to have continuation. We don't want to jump to an area and leave bits behind. It's best to work systematically. So we've worked up until here. So really and truly, I should continue from here onwards, which is what I plan to do.
Action.
Okay, so let's get everything covered. So pay attention to the corners and edges, because places that you miss will be weak spots, and weak spots will soon be pointed out to you very painfully when that's where it will inevitably break. So try not to uncover weak spots in that fashion.
my dad farted.
Good job it wasn't on camera, eh?
Yes.
Good job we don't have smell-o-vision.
I thought it was you, Aaron.
Okay, let's keep it
We're going on.
clean, family-friendly video.
Okay.
Family friendly.
My box.
Okay.
Don't mind me here. I'm just opening this up.
Deneen, can you get my next glue tube ready, please, hun?
That's what I'm doing.
Thank you. Okay, so let's now do this portion of the rear flat part of the body shell. We are reaching the final stages. After this, just got to do the side pieces here and here. So let's get to the finish post. Okay, this part I'm going to pay particular attention to. Now, I want to build up some mass in this section, but I need it to be flat as well, because the bracket will be installed in here, if you remember correctly. So it just makes life easier if it's a smooth and flat surface for the bracket to be installed onto. So let's get to smoothing. Okay, so here I'm just trying to make it as smooth as possible. So I need to add a bit more mass. Don't want too many low spots or high spots. So pay attention to anything that you deem necessary that requires specific attention. And there we go. I do believe now this is where I need it to be. Okay, Aaron. Okay, so these two deep valleys, if you like, will require a lot of adhesive. So however much I use on this entire section, is the same amount is more than likely to be used on the surrounding and in these two deep grooves. But as I say, it's down to you to try and get it as smooth as possible, just so that when it comes to installing the bracket, it's nice and level, and then therefore easy to install the said bracket. This will add much needed mass and rigidity to this weak section, which has proven to be weak, as I found out on my previous one. If we have a look, Aaron, are you getting this? Yeah?
Yeah.
So here, here and here are the weak areas. That's why I'm paying particular attention to that area. Right, so almost done. Just spreading the fantastic elastic where we need to spread it. So in the wheel arch, alright, so let's get this middle section sorted. So we need extra support down here. So do the middle finger spread. Sorry about that, I'm not trying to be rude or offensive. It's just that I'm losing my fingertips on these gloves. So, as I said earlier, you will be putting extra on this section and the valleys here and here and the two corners. It's where it requires the most reinforcement, in my opinion and in my experience. There we go. As you can see, it now is getting smoother. So that's when you know you've got enough of a layer. Okay, here you can see there's none on there. So it's very well defined, each grid square. And when you've got enough of a layer of glue and you've built up enough of a layer, it should be more like this, like the lines almost disappear. Yeah, as you can see, it's not as well defined as there. That's indicating that you have a smooth, even layer, and it's gone down to the actual body shell. Now, to make sure you have indeed done that, make sure to press down firmly and smoothly. Yeah, so if you come down in one direction like this, it ensures a smoother finish. Now, I know it's not 100% necessary to do that. You know, it's on the inside, you're not in it, nobody can see it, but personal aesthetic reasons, if you like, but also a smooth finish is always better than a rough, haphazard slapdash finish, in my book. It indicates that you've gotten the adhesive down to the right level and the drywall tape is doing what it's supposed to, adding much needed strength and rigidity with the aid of the glue. Now, it'll only do that if you've done things, you know, that little bit to the little bit extra length, the final mile, if you like. You know, as they say, we go the extra mile. Well, I've definitely gone the extra mile for the X-MAXX because we do treat her pretty roughly. She sees a lot of abuse. Hence the necessity for extra reinforcement. There we go. That is almost done to my satisfaction now. Yeah. Right, so just getting to the home stretch, just doing this side, then I'm going to do that side, and that will be the body done. So I've just been lazy and procrastinating, and other projects have gotten in the way. So it's taken so long, but I know this video is a bit long, but it's a comprehensive video showing step-by-step idiot proofs guide on how I did it, and if you wish to do it this way, these are the pros and cons. So if I've made mistakes, please do learn from them, and I hope this video serves you well. So almost done, so just bear with me. Right, so this is this side almost 100% done. Just putting on the final touches on a bit that I overlooked. I've reached up to here, so up to the edges. Make sure to do the edges correctly, especially if you're not going to put an edging strip. You will require the extra reinforcement there, because putting this on adds weight, so adds strain and stress to the body, so it will need reinforcing in more places now. So here we go, and got a bit dry there. I had 10 tubes at 20 grams a piece, and this is my penultimate tube. I've got one more tube to do that bit there, and I've been cutting it close, so it's taken me 200 grams to get this all completely done. And when doing the next layer, it should be done when this is almost dry, but not 100% dry. It's still a bit tacky. Then it makes it so much more easier putting the next layer on. As you can see, when I put the next layer on, I only needed just a couple of drops of hot glue for the awkward shapes. But other than that, it sticks like a dream. It's conformed to the shapes, and it is. If you hear that sound, it's a more satisfying thud, like a BMW or a Mercedes door closing, as opposed to a Ford Fiesta, a Mondeo, Nissan, or a Toyota. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those cars, but they are made of thinner metals, as we all know. So, BMW thud, Nissan, Toyota, Datsun thud. Right, so this is the final piece that needs to be flexi glued, and then that's the body shell finally complete.
Action.
Right, so this last bit here, just as ever, push the glue in, smooth it down, make sure it's reached down to the layer underneath so it can do its job properly. Now, this is the last bit I got left to do, and I'm down to my final tube after this one. So let's just get everything we can out of this. Here we go.
On the top of the green circle.
Okay, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our final tube of glue. I've used fully 200 grams. I believe I'm going to do another layer after this. That's going to be put on with my Gorilla Glue contact glue or contact cement. That means it bonds with itself. Anyway, I'm very pleased with the results so far. Okay, I do believe we have now finished the entire process. This is the drywall tape and fantastic elastic, Shugu equivalent, flexi glue or rubber cement, whatever you like to call it. It is applied and it is come out better than I expected it to. I'm very pleased with the results. Just making sure it's all gotten to where it's supposed to, because remember, as you're putting more and more layers on, as the layers get thicker, it gets there's more chance of you creating air gaps or air pockets, or it not reaching the layer it's supposed to reach. So in order for that to happen, you need to make sure you're pressing down firmly. So I've got a few offcuts here which I can use for any sticky up bits that need attention. So let's just do that. No, that's not a good idea. And that is, let me just check I haven't missed any spots. Perhaps here could use a bit more. Okay, here. Oh, that's my second layer. That's why that's coming off. But this one I can tack in place with some hot glue, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Right, this is the extra strength layer. So I'm just putting it down, and as I may have already mentioned, loads of people love to save time and pre-cut their strips. I completely disagree with this. Okay, so just putting some more strips down for the next layer. Now, slight overlap is not an issue. It all adds to the strength. I'm leaving it extra long so I can trim it down later. Okay, I'm going to cut this to the size I require. Okay, I've made thinner strips because